Now, I am a big believer in, so I'm a student of longevity and success. I always wonder what makes some people last a long time and what makes others come and go. And it is my belief, now I might be wrong, but this is my opinion, that it is the people who at some point are willing to let their stardom or whatever success they have go. The way Jesus said it, that he who has his life, he who loves his life will lose it, and he who loses his life will get it. Would you say, because if anybody asks me, I will say it was because Sola Sobowale was willing to give up all that stardom for her kids. She gave it up, and then it came back in many multiples. If you're able to give it up, at some point you will get it back. But if you hold on to it, you will lose that thing. Would you say that is it? Am I right? Because you gave it up.
I gave it up. And when I was even giving it up, I didn't know that I just went, because I wasn't thinking of getting anything back. What was in my head, what I had here was, okay, Sola, we will jump there. That time will come, you have to take care of these children. Though. And don't forget, my background. My father, a retired principal. My mother, a retired headmistress. And that legacy, they so much believe that you Ben. So that echoes in my head. Because you cannot do it all by yourself. It's grace that we're all still talking about. It's grace. Oriofe. Grace. So I would say that God has compensated me. Because there's so many things written about me when I left the shore of Nigeria. Some people met me, yes. So many things, so many negative things written about me. A lot of people do ask me, Sola, oh, you don't feel all this? And my response, so far I'm at peace with God, then I am good. So far, yes, I'm peace with God, Sola. You are beautiful, you are good. Remember, when I was in UK doing my thing, they wrote a lot of things in Nigerian newspaper, from grace to grass. Yes.
Oh boy.
That Sola Sobowale lives in London now. She sells food in a restaurant called Emuke. Emuke happens to be my senior sister, same father, same mother, restaurant owned by Kike Oyilano with Uncle Tunji Oyilano. So I go there, anytime I'm off work, I see my sister, I make eba, ogunyo, I help my sister to serve people. They saw me, they wrote, Sola Sobowale now sell eba in the restaurant. In Yelobe, Sola Sobowale is now a cleaner in London. From Grace, Sola Sobowale is a carer, washing pool, cleaning bottom in Nigeria. It's been written about me. Still nice. That will still work. Yes, I can make eba. Before I left Nigeria, before even going to move it totally, I had a restaurant, Shola's Kitchen. So if I go to Doyibo and be selling eba, I make my money. It's no problem. If I wash bonbon, it's no problem. I'm making my money. The ele to buruju me Sola Sobowale motepa to Saudi Arabia, that they killed me in Saudi Arabia.
What?
That I carried cocaine. Yes, it is written in this Nigeria that I carried cocaine in Saudi Arabia. They got me arrested, and there they amputated my leg, my hand, and I said to them, please, I'm a star in Nigeria, because of that kuku, so they killed me. So when I now got to Nigeria, at the airport, they just went back. They said, Sola Sobowale is dead now. And I said, do you believe in Abacadabra? He said, yes, I have commanded everything back. That's what I meant. So when I got to Nigeria, I said, look, I'm alive. I've never been to Saudi Arabia before. I don't even know where Saudi Arabia is in the map. So how did I get there? Or how did they kill me there? There's so many things negative, but to God be the glory. God has compensated me beautifully. And nicely.
Amazing. And look, the people that write these stories, all the time. I'm always amazed. They just conjure these stories. They write them. I've read all sorts of things about me as well. And that's why I wanted to have this interview particularly with you, because I keep telling people that look, you see Sola Sobowale now on top. Have you forgotten those years? And until you tell people these things, they forget that these stories were written about you. People had written you off. I'm sure there were people you called in those days who wouldn't even take your call.
We just, they said, my mom would say, prayer is the key to everything in life. There are ups and downs. At times, I remember those years in London when going to work. That we have different kinds of weather in London. At times, yes, it's cold. But when it gets to bitterly cold, then at times you'll be bleeding. You won't even know that you are bleeding. From the north, yes, it happened to me several times. And one day I was going and I cried. I will never forget that song that I sang. When I go, I said, okay, if I take the train, I was living in Woolwich and I was working in Richmond, southeast to southwest. If I take the train, it's faster. It's going to be more than 1.5 hours, like 1 hour. Stopover and 2, 1 hour. Or 1 hour plus. But I said, okay, I check my salary. I said, if I take this out this month, then it will affect this. It will affect that. So I said, let me take the bus. Taking the bus, that means I have to do like 5 stopovers. So I have to travel like 3.5 hours to get to work. So my work starts when? My work starts at 8 a.m. And so minus when I got on the first bus to travel like 3.5 hours. And when I go, so I decide when I see that, it's too far. So let me do 2 jobs. Then I start in Richmond, 8 a.m. I finish 8 p.m. Then I move from 8 p.m. Then I will run to the bus stop to catch that bus. If I miss it, the other one will come 15 minutes after. I'm going to be late for the other job. I finish, I run to the bus stop, take another one, bus 68. That will take me to early. I'm going to Bedford. Then I'll start that job at 9, I finish at 7. And I do that every day. I only go home 1 day to sleep. So this very day, I was going to work. It was bitterly cold. And I started bleeding. And I went and I was crying and I was singing. Iṣẹ́ orin lórí rán mi, iṣẹ́ orin ni o, iṣẹ́ orin ni o, iṣẹ́ orin ni o, iṣẹ́ orin lórí rán mi, iṣẹ́ orin ni o, iṣẹ́ orin ni o, iṣẹ́ orin ni o. I sang it and I cried. I cried. But today, I say a very big thank you to God Almighty. I went and I conquered. And when I see my children, I say, yes, I am a mother. I am a biamo. I am a yaomo. I am the full definition of a motherhood. thank God.
Ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ jèrè wọn lágbára Ọlọ́run.
Lágbára Ọlọ́run. Àmín Ọlọ́run.
Awesome. Thank you for look.